One match away from the final. Mexico and Honduras are set to play tomorrow. We're going to talk to you guys about it, give you a little preview, a little bit of a prediction. Make sure to leave your score prediction in the comments down below before you watch the rest of this video, and make sure to subscribe for more content for the Gold Cup. Let's just get right into it, though. Mexico first. Let's talk about Mexico first before we go into the Honduras side of things here. Mexico, I'll start it off, Andres. I'll start it off by saying, obviously, Mexico are the favorites, right? Obviously. There's no way around that. Am I the most confident in Mexico pulling out this win? Can I say 100% guaranteed that they're going to go into this game and win outright? No.
Hater.
And that's no. And that's not as much Honduras. I think that's more for me just Mexico. Saudi Arabia, right? It was Mexico's game through and through. Saudi Arabia didn't have much to go off of. Not much to go. First half was maybe a bit scary at moments. But that was Mexico's game through and through, right? It was theirs to control, essentially. And they put out the 2-0 win. Was my faith in them, my confidence in them growing after that? Still no.
Hater.
It's the same issues I think they need to address going into this Honduras game. They had one goal from open play. Even then, it was a rebound goal off the goalkeeper. Not a good finish, but a good play to get to that point. But much else, no. I don't think there has been much improvement still on the attacking front, which I do need to see for this game against Honduras. I think there should still be a focus there, and I need to see a bit more improvement. But for you, Andres, your Mexico takes here. What does Mexico need to do for this win against Honduras? To guarantee a win and place in the final, what does Mexico need to accomplish here for you?
Honestly, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I guess I have my boys, but I was actually pretty disappointed with the lineup. I thought certain players were playing. I was like kind of shocked by it, specifically the kid. I'm not gonna lie.
Really? What?
I'm not saying he's playing bad. I was shocked by the decision too, because he hasn't played all tournament, and then all of a sudden he plays and starts in a quarterfinal match. That's why I was shocked. I thought he did a decent job. He looked like he fit in. That's the best I can describe. He didn't really, he started off the goal. But other than that, still, he's young. I'm not gonna knock him. He's got a lot of potential. But I was just surprised by the decision. Thankfully, Gallardo, no, he's not going to play. Yes, sir. That's a dub in my books. That's a dub in my books.
A guaranteed
Chavez left back. Araujo, I think, solidified his spot at the right back position. But I honestly think to win this game convincingly, or win this game in a convincing manner, I think you got to switch back to a 4-4-2. I think honestly,
the two strikers the way to go.
Two strikers the way to go.
They look so much better every time with it.
It's just taking off Raul for Santi. It's just like it doesn't really make any sense. I feel bad for Santi because the past 2 games he's come on to just chase the ball. Like that's all he's done. And then they bring on Charlie at the same time, and it's just like nothing happens, and it's just depressing. I think at this point in time we're playing with 10 men still. Rico is now our new Charlie. Offers absolutely nothing on the right wing.
Again. We're talking about Piojo Alvarado on the right wing. He
just looks like Rico. Put an image on the screen right now. Boom. They can see the difference. There is no difference. He offers nothing. He's left-footed. That's cool. Congratulations. But he doesn't offer anything on the right wing, so Chino needs to play. But yeah, I think a 4-4-2 is our best chance, especially, in the past we have faced some difficulty from Honduras, specifically attacking. But, home field advantage, how the statistics are and that we do win the games against Honduras with home field advantage. But yeah, I just think a 4-4-2 is our best way going forward, because I think Luis Chavez was the key to unlock that midfield 3 that we had in terms of being able to distribute the ball, beat that press, and unfortunately, tragically, tore his ACL during training, so he's no longer going to be a part of the plans. So I think just for going forward for this tournament, I think you got to switch to a 4-4-2, just because I think that's what we've looked best when we've missed that midfielder. So I think that's our best thing. I feel bad because Edson is not a center back. He does not look comfortable being that center back role, and I don't blame him.
Bring Montes back in, just for the pure fact that you're getting goals from him. Yes, defensively there are maybe better defenders on this team sheet for Mexico, yes, but boys got 3 goals in the Gold Cup, and against this Honduras team, especially when you're not really creating much, I think you might as well put him in there. I like the Vasquez Montes pairing.
I think Montes had a really bad run of form, but he wasn't involved in the squad at all. So, and he did pick up that slight knock towards the end of the game against Costa Rica. So, I mean, look, I think Israel Reyes is a good replacement at the moment. He's not going to be playing out of position. I think Araujo needs to stay at the right back position, if I'm being completely honest. I think he did plenty to deserve the spot there. I'm not too worried about our defense. I think just, in terms of attacking wise, I think we had a good game plan against Saudi Arabia. I think we've had some good chances. It was just, can't really convert. And I think Santi and Raul complement each other a lot, and they really unlock each other's capabilities in terms of Raul being able to start the movement, because he does like coming back a lot further to develop the play, and then Santi being in the right positions. And also, let's be real, Santi attracts a lot of attention defending wise and leaves Raul open. And I think against the friendlies, against Switzerland and Turkey, I think we really saw the potential there, especially in the Nations League. So I think just going forward, I just thought it was a little silly, especially when Luis Chavez. I genuinely thought we were going to go back to a 4-4-2, and then we didn't, and I think that caused a little bit of problems for us attacking wise, and midfield wise. It was kind of like everyone was everywhere. There's a lot of chasing happening. So to avoid that, I think it's a 4-4-2 is our best case scenario for the rest of this tournament, especially against Honduras, who could offer something going forward. It can be dangerous at certain moments in time if you're complacent. And I think, you want to kill this game off early, because we saw what happened against Panama. Panama was dominant the entire first half. And then that second half, you leave that door a little bit.
Last 25 minutes or so.
Yeah, a little creaked, a little bit open. Honduras will strike, or at least get opportunities to. And, hopefully we don't have to, hopefully we can finish that up way before the game, way before then. But we don't want a repeat of that.
And that's a good to segue into Honduras side of things, which that was actually what I was going to first start off with when we were talking about Honduras. Was the game against Panama. Obviously, Honduras, they earned those penalties, and they won that game, right? In the last 25-30 minutes, it was their game completely. Panama had no shout there. But that was also down to, because Panama let them do it. Like you said, they left the door just a little bit creaked open. And I'm a little nervous that Mexico are going to do the same thing here, in the way that, like Mexico could put the game to bed early, but their attacking so far this tournament has not shown me that they can do that yet. So I need to see that from them. Otherwise, I am a little scared for Mexico. And I think Honduras could pull out here, because obviously Honduras are not going to try to control the game. They're not going to be playing out the back, and make it their possession-based game or whatever. It's up to Mexico here. But for Honduras side of things, if they can limit Mexico's chances and keep Mexico at bay, which many teams have done defensively so far in this tournament, I think Honduras has a really, really good shout at securing, if not penalties, a 1-goal win here at the end here. And I like this Honduran team. Obviously, they started the Gold Cup with a tragic loss for Canada, really. I mean, obviously they lost 6-0 to Canada, but that ended up being Canada's downfall in the end of it, really. And then they really picked up form moving forward, 2-0, 2-1. Going into the knockout rounds, I didn't think Honduras had a whole lot in them, to be honest. I thought that Curaçao game could have went either way, and they're lucky that they got the win there, because Curaçao could have had other chances to put to bay and whatnot. Could have ended a lot differently. But that Panama game showed me a lot, that this Honduras side is really here to stay, really here to actually fight, and they're going to treat this game like the biggest rivalry game in a long time. We know how Honduras is against Mexico in their first matchup of whatever series they play. It's happened twice now in the past year or two, where they've won the first game, and then Mexico comes back to win the second game. There is no second game here. There's only one game, so they have to play it like it's that first leg over again with no second leg. I think Honduras can do it. I like the attack. I like Luis Palma. I like Arriaga in the midfield. Maldonado has been pretty good, and not to mention Menjivar, I forget how to pronounce his name, in goal. He's been lights out, man. He's been fantastic so far, especially in that last game. I think they have a lot of tools here to keep Mexico at bay and secure advancing to the next round. If Honduras and Mexico go to penalties, for you, who wins it in a straight penalty shootout, tie game, and 90 minutes? Who goes to the final after that?
I think it's been a while since Mexico's actually been a part of a penalty shootout. Honestly, I don't remember the last time. Not the last couple. The couple. We got to go back a couple years. I think if it goes to the penalty shootout, it's anyone's game, and I think obviously you always attribute it to the underdog. So I'd be a little concerned going into it. And with that being said, I think Honduras probably would take it on pens. I'd hope not, but I feel like they got the penalty experience already in the tournament. And I think they would unfortunately probably take it, but I don't think it's going to get there. I think Mexico, if they Aguirre comes out with the right lineup, which I'm hoping is a 4-4-2. I'm begging. Because I think a lot of our attacking issues really comes from us playing a 4-3-3, and I think Luis Chavez is that key in the midfield to fix the attacking problems, because we saw it against Costa Rica that we were attacking, in my opinion, very well. the entire game. And you know, when he's gone, there's a massive gap in that transition from the midfield to the attack. So I think if we play the 4-4-2, I think we'll limit those issues of being able to go forward and create chances. So I don't think it's going to get there, but if it did, I'd probably, my brain unfortunately tells me Honduras might take it out.
You're thinking with logic today, Andres. What's going on?
You know, this past weekend's been really annoying to watch because none of my hate watching occurred. But yeah, I think my brain unfortunately is telling me that every time you go into it, the underdogs or the team I don't want to win wins on penalties. So my brain is now hardwired to believe. But I know it's not going to get there. There.
Okay.
And
Honduras in the final, in the Gold Cup final, in the Big 25 would be very shocking.
Bro, our list is fucked. If you reviewed all our videos from before this tournament, bro, our predictions are so wrong that no one could have predicted what's happened so far in this Gold Cup. No. You love to see it to an extent, you know, in retrospect, you know, you're gonna be like, oh man, this is great. I'm so glad this happened. But like beforehand, you're like, or during it, you're like, I can't believe this is happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
without a doubt.
You know, I thought we were gonna
we've had more credible
Panama right now, but no.
Yeah, and that goes down to Honduras, and there's a reason they're here. And I'm not saying they don't have a shot. They have a really big shot here at making it in the final. And this is going to be one of the more entertaining semifinal matchups in both case scenarios in a long time for the Gold Cup, right? Normally, it's just USA, Mexico. We know they're both going to be in the final. That could still be the case here, but and I'll talk about Guatemala in the other video. So if that one's going to come up before this, so if you haven't watched that one, make sure to watch that after this. But Guatemala and Honduras both have a fair shot at making it to the final here. So we could be seeing a very, very interesting final when it's all said and done later this weekend. But final score prediction is what, my friend?
I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0 Mexico.
Ooh.
Nice and light. Santi's going to score, though. Just wait.
Wow.
Just wait. You know, I've been wrong every single time I've done a prediction for Mexico. But let me tell you, this is the game right now. This is the game.
All right. You said for sure? Like, can you promise that? Because you did last time.
You know, we talked. Me and Santi talked. He apologized. You know, keeper made a great save.
Good man. Good man.
And, you know, I was like, it's okay, brother. Like, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, you do you, and the goals are going to come. And you know what? He reassured me this time around that he's going to score. So, you know, he technically did. It was an own goal, but he technically did. You know what I mean? He was in the right place, right time.
He didn't score.
He was in the right place, right time. Made the error. He made it happen because he was making the right run. And
I scored the goal again. I scored the goal as equally as he did.
You know what? He scored the goal because of the run he made. You know, if he doesn't make that run, that goal doesn't happen. That own goal doesn't happen. So he gets an assist. You know, but you know he's knocking. He's knocking. Last Costa Rica was disallowed for some dumbass shit, and then this goal was an own goal. He's knocking on the door, and he's gonna score. Yeah, I talked to him. He's like, "Yeah, I feel it. I'm like, I feel it too, brother." So yeah, 2-0 with a Santi goal.
And you haven't brought him on the channel yet. This could be a great opportunity for him to get in football.
I know. He's just a busy man. What can I say?
I know. I understand. Yeah. Aren't we all? And you know what, Santi? I'm sure you're watching. If you're a friend of Andres, make sure you hit us up whenever.
Trust.
Hit us up whenever. Okay, I mean, I gotta give it. I'm still gonna go Mexico wins here because Mexico have just been getting goals out of nothing. But like you said, it's really down to their lineup. I think if depending on who they play, Edson back in the midfield, a lot remains to be seen. 4-4-2 leads me to think there's gonna be some goals scored. I'm gonna go 2-1. I think Honduras is going to be able to get a goal here. A good counterattack. We've seen Mexico haven't always been the best at defending counterattacks. It's more so been their opponents have not been able to score these counterattacks. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Mexico win, but it's going to be a lot tighter than a lot of people think.
Baby. That's all I'm happy about.
2-1 Mexico win. 2-1 Mexico win. Honduras, though, obviously does have a shot. I'm not counting them out. Just because we're not picking a team doesn't mean we don't like you. Honduras, I think, does have a really good chance here. But okay, we might be seeing Mexico or Honduras in this final coming soon. Make sure to leave a like if you're anticipated. There you go. Leave a like if you're anticipated for this game moving forward. We're going to have reactions for this video or for this game maybe Wednesday or Thursday. Make sure to subscribe for that. Leave a comment down below where your predictions are going to be. Otherwise, we'll see you after the game. Take care.
Peace.